Hey guys, welcome back to my channel here. This is Pedro of Fame. So I wanted to go ahead and do a whole deep dive into the Xbox XCloud on the iPad 12.9 inch. And as you guys can see, I do have my Xbox controller connected to my iPad. And we're going to go ahead. There we go. All right. So as you guys can see, we have the games here. I don't know why it doesn't go to the side like that. But regardless, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you guys MLB The Show. This just recently came out, so this is going to be interesting to see how this plays on the beta. But this is going to be a game that shows off how this game is demonstrated. So let me know your guys' thoughts down below. What you guys think of playing on an iPad, and if you guys would do this. I personally would if I had one. I think this is an excellent option for anybody who has an iPad, has an Xbox controller, but doesn't necessarily have an Xbox or something. This would still be a great alternative. Paying, I think it's $16 a month is what I pay for it, and to play as many games as you want, and all you need is an internet connection. Not really bad. It's really not bad. Like I said, you just need an Xbox controller. You just need your iPad and an internet connection, and it works seamlessly pretty much most of the time. I don't really think I've never had any real issues with it. I think this is an excellent game in terms of the way it looks and statistically what it is. I do think there are some things that could be better about it, but you know, it is what it is. So obviously this is MLB The Show 2022. This is Shohei Ohtani is the guy that's on the cover of this one. Let me know what you guys think of PlayStation going on in that. Like PlayStation games on an Xbox. And this is by me at PlayStation Studios that you guys saw when it came up. So it being on here is actually very interesting to me, and I think it could lend itself to more of this down the line, and I would be happy to see more of this. And I think it would be absolutely awesome to see something like this. You can see the uniform. I'm trying to see if they have my favorite uniform here. I don't know. Yeah, they don't really have it, but that's all right. Man, they never have the uniform that I like on here. I swear. And then we're gonna do. So you guys can see how it's popping up here. Oh, nope, go back to Yankee Stadium. So you can see the graphics are a little bad, but it's not terrible. It's definitely not terrible. Oof. See, this is where it gets bad. This is the only thing I don't like, that it takes a little while to see what is on. And it's a little bad on the graphics side. Yeah, not fun when it comes to this, but yeah, it's not terrible. It definitely could be worse, I'd say, graphic wise. But if I had to choose, this isn't a terrible experience. I just don't know how many people would play MLB The Show, because this is very intensive on the graphics side, so this is why it struggles on this type of system. There are games that don't struggle nearly as bad. Games like, what was it? There was a game, Forza Horizon doesn't struggle very much on this platform. You guys can see here it's looking really bad. Like I said, the struggle with this is just the way it doesn't render very well. nor would I have guessed that it did render well. But once it goes all the way through, it's not bad. And you guys can see I'm very bad at this. I'm not good at this baseball. Shoot. I do like baseball. I don't really watch as much. It's very boring to watch sometimes. But I do love the sport. And I think it's still very good to play. Oh, no. There you go. So as you guys can see, it's not bad once you get into the game. It's just getting to it. It's just really, really bad. But I think, honestly, the game's playable. You could totally play this game for sure if you really needed to. Like, if you really wanted to play this game, you could definitely play it on the iPad. I wouldn't say this would be a great experience, but it's definitely one that you could use. And nope. Jesus Christ, I keep fending the ball off. Let's see if I can get a good hit here. Every single time I keep fending that ball off, which is gonna make him tired, by the way. I'm already 9 pitches into the first inning. He's only on the second guy with no outs, so you can see that I could do this all day, and I'm sure he's gonna get super tired having to continuously pitch the same guy over and over again. Problem is my leadoff guy isn't fast. Oh, finally. Oh, are they gonna get it? Yep. Looks like they're gonna get it. But that's one game. Let's see if I can do another one. Alright, so another game. Let's see. See if we can jump into another game here. You can see some other ones. You can see a whole bunch of games here that they have. I'm going to go into that. It seems like it's stuck. These are some of the bugs that you find with Xbox Game Pass. I don't know why, but it does freeze like this for some reason. It's not terrible. It like I said, it doesn't last forever, so it's not that bad. Let's do Dragon Ball. Let's do Dragon Ball Fighters. Another game that you could play on here. Now, the good thing about this game, like this service, is, like I said, you can play this anywhere. You can play this on your phone, iPad, Mac. It really doesn't matter. You just need, like I said, an internet connection and a device with a screen. And an Xbox controller. Those are the only 3 things that you honestly need, and it's honestly worth it. You can see the Unreal Engine 4 being used. I don't know if anybody is kind of a gamer in here, but if you guys have seen the new Unreal Engine 5 that just came out, that's going to be insane to see games running on that. So you guys should see some finally next-gen games, truly next-gen games, coming out for these consoles. I know that the PlayStation supports 8K, and I believe the Xbox does as well. So you may end up seeing some 8K games here coming up soon. You can see the frame rates here dropping. And I'm surprised that this is such a horrible render right now when this isn't graphically intensive at all. And not a lot of sprouts have to be animated for this one. But, I mean, you guys can see they're not great. But we're going to do... Here you guys can see some of the new people here in the game. On both sides, actually. But I'm going to go ahead and... I'll pick Vegeta. Oops, Vegeta. And versus Frieza. You guys can see here, this actually goes really well together. In terms of it's pretty good. I mean, the only bad thing about this game was in the beginning, but other than that, it's not bad. Oh, there it goes. There's the frame rate dropping again. This is the bad color. So yeah, the delay is quite noticeable. I would say a fighting game probably isn't the best for this, but is it playable? Sure. Would I play it on a daily basis? No. And this is much better for one person than it would be for two people, I would say, for sure. The experience is definitely meant for a one-person experience. Not saying that you can't have more than one person, because you can. I believe you can connect two controllers and you play a two-player game on here. But I would definitely stray towards it being a one-person thing, just because of the device that you're likely going to be using probably isn't big enough to really do two. Now, a 12.9-inch iPad Pro is certainly big enough to do twos. Like in this game, you could definitely do twos like that. But would I recommend it? Not necessarily. I would say definitely if you want a better gaming experience, I would say play it on the Mac. I think the Mac is going to, and I'll show you guys in the next video, that the Mac is actually the better system to use because you're going to be playing on a bigger display. You know, whatever, you know, because 12.9 compared to, let's say you're using a 32-inch monitor, obviously that's a big difference. And you're definitely going to be able to see more and things like that. Now, I'm not going to lie. Does the Mac have any advantages over an M1 iPad Pro? No, you're still going to have these render issues, and you're still going to have the frame rate drops, the input lags. You're still going to have all that. It's just a bigger screen. So I wouldn't get too hyped up about it, unless you're using a Mac Studio, which has the M1 Max in it. Then I would be like, okay, that's worth it. I would say that's more worth it in the long run than just the M1. And I'm not saying the M1 is a bad platform. I think it's absolutely phenomenal, and it's great for what most people need it for. Now, is it the best thing ever? No, that's not true. But it does do the job, and whatever you need the job task to be, it definitely does. Definitely something that you guys can play and not feel like it's unplayable. Now, there's always going to be games, or there's going to be something where you would prefer it to be on a console, and that remains true for anything. But for something simple like this, it's not so bad. It's not unplayable. Like I said, it's not unplayable. Now, I've never played this game, so this is kind of new to me here. I heard a lot of people talking about this one, that it's a pretty good game to play on Game Pass, that it actually renders really easy and well, and that it's very easy to play. And so far, that seems to be the truth. I mean, this runs fantastically on here. Wow, I am getting killed. I don't know what. But it is. Oh, I thought it was something that was going to break. All right. And this game runs actually super good on here. Surprisingly great, actually, for what it is. Now, the frame rates aren't phenomenal even on here, but for what it runs pretty well. You could run this game easily, and I could play with 2 players, and I would be fine playing this type of game. I think it is very doable. Yeah, it definitely runs really good and very smooth on here. And so that's why I really wanted to test this particular game out, was because I did hear that on Xbox Game Cloud, this is probably the game that runs the smoothest. There's not a lot of graphic intensity needed. It's not taxing in any way, shape, or form. Honestly, you don't need the greatest frame rates for this. Obviously, you need at least pretty good, but you don't need anything great frame rate wise. So it's actually pretty doable. As you guys can see, this is definitely doable. Now, is the game great? That's debatable. This more should be shown as a showcase to me. I feel like this would be a great showcase for a game. Not necessarily a great game, but like I said, this would be a great showcase for the Xbox XCloud game, that it can run really well. Because clearly this clearly can run very well on here, which is very different than, obviously, as you saw in the other games, Fighters, and in... Ooh, there you go. Sorry. So for Fighters and the show, that it didn't run great. And on here, it is running fantastic. And shows off everything that they wanted, for sure. But let me know you guys' thoughts down below, and if you guys would play Xbox XCloud with Game Pass or not. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, guys.